We told him not to give
Right.
him any information. Unless he has to know.
Are we ready? Okay. Now I'll call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, a prayer, and a pledge of allegiance. Oh God, thank you for the gift of this new day. And thank you for the blessings of this life, family, friends, work, and purpose. Guide us as we discuss, plan, and dream together. Help us to make wise and just decisions. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held May 21st, 2020.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Next item is the proclamation, Child Welfare Professionals Week, June 1st through the 5th, 2020. Motion to adopt proclamation number 2020-06.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. And this time I'd like to read a little bit of this proclamation here. Whereas the week of June 1st through the 5th, 2020 has been proclaimed as Child Welfare Professionals Appreciation Week by Governor Wolf, recognizing the efforts of child welfare professionals serving the children of Pennsylvania. Every day in Carbon County, local children are at risk of child abuse and neglect. Some have been removed from their homes due to such abuse and neglect. Whereas we, the commissioners, recognize the risk and need to intervene to protect the children of this county. Whereas the challenging work of investigating child abuse, providing services to families, and assure that children of Carbon County are provided with healthy, nurturing care and support as they transition into adulthood. Carbon County Children and Youth Services provide the needed services that allows the child to remain safely in their home and return home expeditiously as possible. Whereas the work of these dedicated professionals requires them to enter into situations in which their personal safety may be at risk. And whereas our professional work with children who have been victimized of physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, and other forms of maltreatment. And whereas the professionals, Carbon County Children and Youth Services must develop great skills in working with families who are in crisis situations, struggling with mental health challenges, and suffering from drug and alcohol afflictions, poverty, and other difficult issues. Whereas the professional county children and youth services must possess substantial knowledge and skills in a myriad of areas to effectively serve the families of Carbon County. Whereas the staff of Carbon County Children and Youth endeavors to protect the children of Carbon County, often with long hours, tremendous demands, little appreciation, and great criticism. Whereas many injuries and possible deaths of children in Carbon County have been averted due to the efforts of Carbon County Children and Youth Services. Now therefore be it resolved, the members of the Board of Commissioners of Carbon County hereby adopt this resolution recognizing the staff of Carbon County Children and Youth Services for its efforts and dedication in protecting the children of Carbon County. Signed by the Commission, adopted this date. First of all, I'd just like to say that, in my opinion, the caseworkers and staff in the Carbon County Children and Youth have the most difficult job in this county, including county commissioner. where we may have to make difficult decisions, their decisions are more life-saving and protecting the children in Carbon County. They're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. We receive complaints a lot of times of their children and youth is not doing their job, but I tell you, they are doing their job. And I stand behind them. I'm sure my fellow commissioners stand behind them and know the difficulties, the environments that they enter, the homes that they enter, and the things that they see are not very pleasant a lot of times. They're criticized, and I can assure you that they do follow the letter of the law. When people complain, we always turn it over to Children and Youth Administration, and sometimes even forward it to the regional office to confirm that our people are doing their jobs. Their job, their position, their decisions are not always cut and dry. A lot of gray areas, and I know they are doing their best to protect the children of Carbon County. So, Rocky?
No, I have to agree with you what you said. I think Commissioner Notstein said it, and he hit the nail on the head, and without them people, the kids of Carbon County would be lost. I think it's a very good group, and you're an elite group. Thank you.
Where indeed this may be child welfare appreciation, for the professionals. I would say as county commissioners, we unquestionably appreciate the challenges that they face and the work that they do. And it is selfless. It's about putting the mission, and their mission is to protect the children and the youth in Carbon County and placing that before selves. And they do that. And I think in this time of pandemic, we see again the extraordinary level that they go to continue to bring that safe environment to the children of Carbon County. So on my behalf, thank you also.
Okay. At this time, we have our administrator. Please stand up, Jill Geisinger, Amy Schickley, and here we go. Let's get this right, Peter. Demahari. He's one of our newer employees in the county. And how long have you been with us, Peter?
This is my second year now.
Second year now. And Joe, you've been with us how long?
14 years.
14. And Amy?
15 years.
So, and it's one of those positions, I think, that experience really matters in a position like this, and they learn how to recognize certain circumstances when they must remove a child. We all agree that the home is the best place, but please convey our appreciation for what your staff and caseworkers do at Children and Youth. We know you have a difficult job, sometimes traveling out of state to transport children back or, from other homes and in other states and other facilities. So thank you very much for everything you do. I guess we're going to get together a little bit later. Joe, if you would come up and at least hand this to you here. And thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Peter.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
Okay, the report of executive sessions go.
There were none.
The department reports. Budget transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
There are no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures, approval of payroll check numbers 72405 through 72433, and direct deposit check numbers 6019757 through 6020131 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $486,668.16. This is the payroll dated May 22nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 213286 through 213377 for expenditures through the general fund clearing account, totaling $953,024.06.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The personnel report?
Move to approve.
No, I'll second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Correctional facility, proposal for approval. Purchase of a Simplicity Contender XT zero-turn mower with a 52-inch steel deck from J.C. Small Engine of Weatherly, Pennsylvania, in the amount of $5,750.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Train for approval, proposal from Train of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, to replace the blower motor on rooftop unit number 4 in the amount of $1,849 under CoStar's contract number 008-274.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Planning and Development, CDBG, for approval and execution, delegation of signing authority and federal funding accountability sheet listing the chairman and vice chairman as authorized signatories for fiscal year 2019, contract number 73823.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Solicitors report?
Thank you. Josiah White Park for approval, authorize the suspension of the agreements with the following vendors for concession services in Josiah White Park for the year 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic, and for a full refund of any payments made by the vendors to date. Eric Sinicola, Carmelis Pastries, Sean Smith, and Gary Wagner.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Animal Shelter for approval, a request from Cook Geological to have proposals received from well drillers in order to complete the required pumping tests on well 2 located near the animal shelter. Requests for proposals are due back to the chief clerk by 4 p.m. on Friday, June 12, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business?
Just under further business, I apologize, especially to Joe Geisinger. I should have had her say a few words and talk about the caseloads that they have and some of the, go into a little bit more detail on some of their decisions and some of their problems or issues that they run into. So I would strongly encourage the media to contact Jill and at least do a telephone interview and get the amount of caseloads and how long it takes to investigate some of the issues, complaints. When there's a complaint of child abuse, they have to interview family members, everyone living in that house, and other people that may have been visiting that home. And one time it used to take probably less than an hour to go out and do an investigation, and now it could be several hours for each case. And since laws have changed in the last couple of years due to the Sandusky issue and at Penn State there are a lot of laws, over 30 laws have been passed and changing regulations and investigating reports and reporting requirements, etc. So I just wanted to, ask you to reach out to Jill and get more details from her. That's all I have on this further business.
Okay, Commissioners' reports, Mr. Arner?
I have one thing here. The Department of Agriculture on our website today is going to be the vouchers. They will be having a press release in 2 days. And basically what it's going to be is people are going to, instead of, put it this way, a lot of them do not have online access. So if they do, they can fill it out online, but they're going to have locations throughout the county that they can stop, get the application, they'll send it in, and this year it's going to be a little bit different. They're going to have it sent to them. Their biggest complaint was they got a $20 voucher and they had to spend $10 worth of gas. So we're sort of giving them a little bit more money. And I think one of the highlights is that they would get 4 vouchers. And this year they're gonna have $6 instead of 5, which will give them 4 more additional dollars. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's something. But they're coming out with I think she said, Ann Horrigan told me this morning that they're gonna have a press release with all the information on it, what they can do and the locations where it's gonna be throughout the county. So I think it would be a good thing maybe to make this story and contact Ann Horrigan and let her give all the information to you. One of the other things, and I know it was a big issue over the weekend that we did have somebody test positive. And one of the things that we did, we put into place a questionnaire and guidelines for our buildings. On the questionnaire, and this involves the staff, and this includes elected officials, court personnel, judges, and row officers, solicitors. This is all of our employees that are going to be asked these questions. Some of them are from if you traveled to a high-risk area. It has if you had a cough, gastrointestinal symptoms. And I think one of the things that's on the bottom is if a full-time, part-time, or seasonal staff member tests positive or becomes symptomatic of any COVID-19, they must immediately notify their direct supervisor, who shall immediately isolate the staff member from the rest of the workforce and continue or contact human resources for further guidance. So this is going to go out. This is going to be something that's every Monday they're going to fill out. In fact, this week we had 2 new employees that came in, and before this was actually implemented this morning at 8 o'clock, I had them do that for them 2 that came in, because we don't know if somebody's coming back to work or new employees. We want to question and find out so that we can have a system in place. And the system that we did have in place, it worked well. The mitigation companies were contacted back in March 20th already. And when I called them, they were here and actually had the place where the incident happened. It was cleaned within hours. I mean, it was like probably a 6-hour process from calling them to having it finished. So there's where a plan worked well. And also under this, we're going to have guidelines. There's guidelines for people going from building to building. I mean, we want to encourage inter-office mail, emails, and teleconferences. I mean, even the UPS guy, whoever comes in here, I mean, we don't know where these people were. I mean, they say contact could be from shoes. So we don't know if they were at a place that has the virus and they could walk in. So, and we're telling nobody can come in our buildings, and that means the UPS people. When they come in here, the people, whatever department that goes to, they have to come and sign for this stuff. And I know we do have bids, and I think I talked to Mark a little bit about it, and he is signing for documents that if we get bids in. So we do have a plan in place, and I did have a couple maybe phone calls this morning that they didn't like it, but there's a lot that encouraged it, because there are people out there that are afraid of this, and they shouldn't be afraid. They should be able to come to our county and say, we can be safe when you come into our buildings. And that goes for our employees. So I'm glad that this is, and I have to commend both Wayne and Chris. I mean, I put this together, and put it this way, HR went through it. There's no HIPAA violations within this. It's within our realm as employers, and we're just looking out for everybody. And like I said, I want to thank Wayne and for backing me to do this. I mean, this is something that was a hard thing to do, and people, you know, it might not suit you in the beginning, but then when you look at it and say, you know, that could affect me, maybe it is a good thing. So I want to thank both of them, and that's about it for my report. And what I'll do, I can send you all copies of this, and then you have everything. Thank you.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yeah. As the Board of Commissioners, I think Rocky highlighted something. We continue to lean forward as best we can in regards to being proactive, to first and foremost protect our employees and those who they come in contact with, and the residents of Carbon County. I mean, go back to our emphasis on pushing for the release of the COVID-19 data from the state. The fact when the trend was to go rogue and maybe premature open, we took a more cautious, risk-informed decision not to be leaning too far forward. I think another example is putting the safety of our employees first with the furloughs that we enacted. We actually see this Board of Commissioners, leading from the front versus following. And this is another example of taking that to the next level. I want to recognize the governor's announcement yesterday that outdoor dining is going to open up as early as 5 June in yellow and green areas. That's a very positive for Carbon County and the businesses associated here. I did want to re-emphasize, our commitment to a safe and responsible reopening of Carbon County. And that includes a comment I made last week in regards to Mock Chunk Lake Park and how we could ensure that that is a safe place for our county residents. So I want to provide an update on that. This past week I did participate in a teleconference with the Parks and Recreation Commission, which is a 5-member advisory board to the county in regards to operations of the park. And I'm going to use a dry erase board, so again, bear with me for a couple minutes. But again, in full transparency, I want folks to understand what the main thought is in regards to Mock Chunk Lake Park. And there's 5 major areas that we're looking at. And that's going to be, first and foremost, right, safety of the employees and individuals who might use that park, right? There's the financial aspect, right? And that's basically dollars, right? Dollars. And we got our verification, and I'm going to discuss each of these in a little bit of detail. And pardon the left-handed handwriting. Capacity, and this is capacity of our park, our swimming area, our parking areas, and importantly, let me use the term messaging, you might call it public relations or information sharing. So as the commission was having a conversation, we looked about safety and we were looking at traffic. We've had a historical problem in the last couple of years with traffic backing up onto Lentz Trail. So if we were to implement a county resident-only use of the park, specifically the camping and swimming areas, what is the likelihood on weekends or any other day we might have a backup of traffic? And how do we mitigate that? Swimming. The unfortunate reality is we only have 3 lifeguards right now who we could actually employ. So do we go back to a past practice as recent as last year where we have an at-your-own-risk swimming? And then finally, there's the protection of the employees as visitors are coming into the park. So it's the protection from COVID-19, but there's also going to be that protection needed from, let me say, those individuals who aren't county residents who are insisting upon coming into the park to either camp or swim. And then there's the financial aspect. And that comes to the county and the revenue that the park takes in, but also the vendors. We do have vendor contracts out there, and any decisions we might make could impact their livelihood. In regards to verification, how do we verify they are a county resident? We don't have county resident decals on our vehicles. Of course, there is, driver's license, ID cards, things of that nature. But as you check those things, that also backs up traffic. And then there's capacity. So Mock Chunk Lake Park has about 40,000 square feet of dry beach, as it's referred to. And on any normal day, if you use standard averages, you could get about 800 folks safely on that beach, right? But again, this is COVID-19, where we have an expectation of greater social distancing than what you normally might see on a crowded weekend at Mock Chunk Lake Park. So think about this. You can fit 800 people on that beach. Again, that's if everyone's sitting there and not swimming. The parking lot, the 5 lots, plus the overflow that serves that beach, holds 900 people if you're putting 3 people in the car. Now you have 150 camping sites, 450 individuals, let's say, in those camping sites. you've already exceeded the potential, or potentially exceeded your beach capacity on a normal day. So this is a challenge. And then finally, should a recommendation or a motion be made to the commissioners to restrict the use, how do we safely and responsibly get that message out to both residents and, importantly, those who would normally be flowing over from Beltsville or Hickory Run, into Mock Chunk Lake Park. Now, I have no doubt in this world that we can do this safely, we can do it responsibly, but there are a couple critical factors and critical resources that are needed. And over the next day, I'll be reaching out. And first and foremost, that's going to be the mayors of Jim Thorpe and Summit Hill and their police departments. Without their constructive input and without their cooperation, there is just no way we can safely and responsibly move ahead with consideration of a restricted use during the yellow phase. So again, I want to ensure the residents of Carbon County, we are doing all we can moving forward, looking at all the criteria and some of the issues and concerns about this restricted opening to look forward to you ensuring you have an opportunity for a safe place for your physical and your mental well-being. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, just want to update everyone that as of Monday, we're going to be down to 11 full-time personnel that are still furloughed, 6 part-timers that are still at full furlough, and we have brought some back employees that are working 2 or 3 days a week, and other employees at this time that are still reduced hours in that. So we're slowly getting back. The courts have been calling people back with different things happening in the, for instance, in the treasurer's office with later this month, in June, I should say, in the middle of the month, they'll be going back up to full staff because they'll have the hunting licenses to deal with and other issues in that office, as well as other offices with the courts vamping up. They will need more personnel in the pathonetaries and clerk of the courts and recorder, register of wills, et cetera, and so many other offices. So we're getting to that point. We have to start calling more people back, which is a good thing. And hopefully all the furloughed employees will be coming back. You noticed on the agenda today, we suspended our agreements with the personnel or the vendors in the park. It is only a temporary suspension. I know they were a little concerned. I talked to 2 out of the 4. They fully understand after talking to them why we had to do it to reduce that social distancing. We continue to do our focus group meetings every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. We'll be discussing, meeting with the chambers, local chambers, borough township managers, and healthcare officials, Pocono Mountain Vacation Bureau, County Chamber, and other parties that making decisions or not making decisions, recommendation, and tracking what we have to do to keep people safe when they come to visit Carbon County. Discussed not only Jim Thorpe, Lansford Alive, the ski resorts and other facilities throughout the county. And since tourism or recreation and housing or hospitality are such a big industry for Carbon County, we're trying to make it as safe as possible, getting signs put out there thanks to the Pocono Mountain Vacation Bureau and County Chamber, and even as far as putting more portalets out there since the restaurants are not open, so you have no restroom facilities. So we're doing what we can. At a meeting after the busy weekend on Saturday, we only had about 40 cars parked in the lot, rainy weather. Sunday, 291. And I think it was about 140 on Monday or something like that. So, yeah, it's a lot of people walking around, and unfortunately, they're not practicing or following the recommendations of the CDC, State Department of Health. And that's what we have to be concerned about. Some of the shops did not open for their fear of their own safety. So, but we'll continue to have those meetings as long as necessary to address the situations, I should say, that arrive here and there, and how we can, control as much as the environment as we can safely. So we'll continue to do that. So, that's all I have for now. So, meeting adjourned. Lisa, could you move up to the desk, please?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'll call the special meeting of election board order.
Approve the minutes of the election board meetings held May 7th, 2020 and May 14th, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Orner?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
I think I went out of order, I'm sorry.
No, that's
Well, let's redo it.
I'm getting tired of going first alphabetical, okay?
Yes. Are there any
I'm
guesses?
sorry, any guests concerning election board meeting? Hearing none, move on.
Approval of the voter registration totals. Voter registration totals of the eligible electors and precincts that may participate in the general primary to be held Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. Democrat total 17,615, Republicans 19,932, for a total of 37,547.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Varner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
Election board vacancy appointments. The following registered electors of Carbon County will serve as precinct election officials, filling vacancies at the June 2nd, 2020 general primary as follows. I just want to make note that Jane from my office found 15 people yesterday, because people are quitting like constantly, even up until like yesterday. So she had to find like, I think 9 or 10 judges. They were all found. Everything seems to be working well. They're going to pick up their stuff Friday and Monday. We told them that they could come in the building or come in the lobby if they have any questions, because we can't get anything out to them. We couldn't have any additional training. Most of it will be hands-on at the polling place, but we just want them to feel comfortable there, that we're not just throwing them there. So, like I said, we had a lot of people just quit recently, so, because I thought we were pretty much covered until like last week.
So move to approve the registered electors list.
I'll second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
I just wanted to give you some totals. So this morning I went in and printed the summary. So we have approximately, I'm just going to give a total, 6,677 applications were issued between military, civilian overseas, online, absentees, and mail-ins. Right now, as of, well, we didn't get our mail this morning, but as of yesterday, 3,700 were received, returned, voted. So it's a little over half. I also want to make note, with the holiday, it kind of messed up the whole mail system with, like, for us to get applications. We got about 80 yesterday that we had to decline because they had to be in Tuesday. And with the mail not, we didn't get, and we don't get mail on Tuesdays. We don't get very much mail, but, so yesterday we got about 80.
So what happens now?
They were all mailed letters that it was too late for them to register. Like, it doesn't go by a postmark, it goes by the date received. So anything, so the Department of State turned off the online system at like 4:59, which we were grateful for, because a lot of times stuff happens. But like I said, there was about 77, 80 that we mailed out letters to, saying that they were too late for the, and some of them, like, even dropped them off yesterday morning, which, it was Tuesday. We were open, so, but yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get some calls, just because people don't understand. People still don't understand that if you're not a registered Democrat, Republican, why you can't vote. We had hundreds of calls about that. So we try to explain it best we can. Some of the people, like I had someone call today, we just got his application, and, they mailed them, but we didn't get them. Some of them said, oh, I dropped it off Friday. Well, by the time we mailed it, it was Tuesday.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So they wouldn't even get theirs yet, but they should be in time. That mail slot was a very good idea, like, we needed that.
Mhm.
So, and people are just constantly dropping off ballots, and security, sees them, gives them to us, or, so, that was a big thing. We're still waiting on the packages from the Department of State. I'm hoping they're coming soon, because we are giving out our stuff tomorrow. If worse comes to worse, we're just gonna have the rovers take them.
Okay.
I may ask for additional just drivers, maybe not specifically rovers, just to get this stuff out if we can't get it. Poll books came on Tuesday. He literally did a one-day turnaround for us. That was another issue with the Department of State. Not to throw them under the bus, but there's just a lot of things going on, and, we find out after the fact, so. And then our ballots are being delivered today.
Could we expect sample ballots to be up
Yes.
online tomorrow
So,
afternoon?
they're trying to send it through like a web, a site.
Yeah.
And I can't get it to upload.
Okay.
So I just asked them, because they're just samples.
Just
They're gonna just
email.
send me the PDFs, and I'm gonna
Okay.
upload those today. I actually talked to him this morning.
Okay.
So those will be out.
Okay.
Everything is pretty much like, we're just waiting for ballots really to be packed. Everything else is kind of waiting. Or, just as soon as they come, we'll be finished, hopefully by tomorrow, because that's when everyone's coming for their stuff.
Is there anything from the Board of Commissioners you asked for that you haven't received, or anything additional that you need that we may not be aware of?
No, like I said, the only thing may be extra drivers
Uh-huh.
or something, on election
Mhm.
day. We have enough workers. I know we had an additional worker, but I didn't call her. She's been in her other office, because we don't really need an extra person right now.
Mhm.
But come Monday, we may. Or, like a lot of times, we used to use the juvenile probation, like they would have kids come in, which they're not having. That's why we did away with the Saturday. Just because we figured that Friday and Monday we're here anyway. Most people can't come on a Saturday, so it kind of just worked out. We just did 9 to 4. Maintenance has been delivering. They started yesterday. Everything seems okay. I just have a kind of odd question. Does anybody have a contact with the Palmerton Rod and Gun Club? Just for thought. I can't, we tried the guy for months. We don't know if it's the
Okay.
wrong number. Just you leave a
I
message.
can probably find that out for you.
That's the only thing.
Okay.
That's one of our deliveries today. That's the only one I couldn't get in touch with.
Okay.
And
Lisa,
Lisa,
contact my office, we can see if they have something on file for their small games and chance
Oh,
license.
okay.
Yeah, that would
Because I
probably.
would have a list of all their officers.
Okay, because I know the judge knows the same guy that I know, because he works there, but nobody can get in touch with him, so we're just not sure if maybe his number changed or something.
Okay.
when Lisa was talking about maintenance delivering, all the election equipment has been being delivered to all the precincts, all 28, correct? Over 28
30.
precincts?
30.
30
Yeah,
precincts.
it was condensed to 30.
So, yeah, they've been busy doing that this week, and just to update the public a little bit, the amount of time and personnel required, I don't think the Department of State or our legislators fully understand what occurs every time they change a law. And we've never had an issue like this, and being at the last minute, we run into the situations with the mail, at the holidays, et cetera, because of COVID and everything, but we had 2 part-timers that we hired. They were working full-time hours. We had one of our staff that was furloughed from our office, was called back full-time and working in that office full-time instead of hiring another part-timer. We wanted to get our own employees back to work first, but they've been on Saturday, you and who else worked, how many worked on
3
Saturday?
of us.
Right.
3.
So,
Or for the full-timers.
Yep.
so we've had quite a few people, it's a lot of hours, and I don't think you have a total yet of additional hours that were put in this year over other years because of the COVID and everything, and the additional staff. Not only that, but the changing of the laws with the mail-ins and everything. How many did we have last year, you remember offhand?
Well, I was going by the 16 presidential, and just absentees, we had maybe like 600.
Yeah.
600,
So now we have
well, we're
6,600.
6,000 more this year.
Yeah, so that's the issue, like for us, like, because we wanted to make sure everything got out, so like we were doing like 1,000, 2,000, like turning around doing this next day or the next morning, which for 4 of us is, I thought was pretty good.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Like I said, we do have some, hopefully some poll workers on standby just in case, because something always happens. But a lot of them were more worried about coming back in November. And we're like, it's not an issue for us. I did change I was trying to not change our polling places with the Department of State just because it's so confusing, because we kind of added a new one. And they told me yesterday I had to. I mean, just, so I did. I mean, everything. So that's all updated. I know I spoke with Doyle because he had it posted, but they weren't updated, so he's going to repost, like for Facebook.
So the state website hadn't been
It's
updated?
updated, correct.
Based
I mean,
upon
and
our
ours is
input?
updated,
Yes.
yes. So, just let everyone
Yep.
know.
Any further business for election board? Not? Meeting adjourned. Haley?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, that was an easy one. Okay.
I have a few questions. So just to clarify the guidelines that you said, Rocky, all employees are answering those questions every Monday
Yes,
when they come into work?
yes.
Okay. And then
And even if somebody's coming back, they'll get mailed out to them that they're returning to work like the next week. This form will actually be in there. And like I said, down at the bottom, it's really plain. If you have any symptoms, either isolate yourself or come in.
Right. And then the vouchers that you were talking about, what were those for? They were for the Department of
Those are the
Agriculture?
vouchers that you get, like going to there's a few of them in the county that you can get food through the agricultural department. They get vouchers that are $5 each. Now they're going to be $6. But I said they've always had them, but they increased it a little bit, and it's going to be easier for them to access, because I think when I talked to Ann Horgan this morning, it's going to be online, but probably 75% of the people don't do online. I mean, maybe they might do Facebook or something like that, but they're trying to get it out every way they can. And like I said, one of the big complaints was in the past that they'd spend $10 to come to pick up a voucher, so now they can just take the form, send it in, and it'll be mailed directly right to them.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then another clarification, you said 11 full-time and 6 part-time people are the people who are still out.
They'll still be out as of June 1st.
As of June 1st, but everyone else who has been brought back
Well,
by
not
June.
everyone, but there's some that have been called back to work only 2 or 3 days a week.
Okay, gotcha. And then, as far as the governor allowing for outdoor dining at restaurants now, are you guys anticipating like any restaurants in Jim Thorpe or elsewhere to maybe kind of start thinking about creating their own outdoor dining?
Well, I think they're just waiting, they're doing maybe, some outdoor dining.
I know I spoke to Marlon Kistner this morning, and we discussed this, Alyssa, and one of the things, and again, she was using Jim Thorpe as a thought. There is the potential for certain streets that are controlled by the municipalities to become pedestrian-only streets on a temporary basis. I think a perfect example is right here in Jim Thorpe, Race Street, right, which is very narrow anyhow, and I know that's one initiative that she is looking at of bringing forth to see if that could help open opportunities for those particular restaurants along Race Street.
Right, yeah, definitely just, they don't know how long they're gonna be in yellow to be able to do the indoor dining, so that's what I was thinking, there might be opportunities there. And then the only other thing, just as far as children and youth, can you guys talk a little bit, have you seen like, positive changes in the office since switching administrators, and kind of give a little update as far as that goes?
What was the first part of that question?
For children and youth, can you give like a little bit of an update? Have you guys seen positive changes since switching administrators, bringing on, the new administrator?
Really don't have an answer for that one, I
Okay.
couldn't tell you.
Okay, no problem. I think that's it then.
All right, thank you.
Yes, you want this?
Yeah, no, I'll keep it for the,
Lisa, here's your,
Oh, okay.
No, here, I have the bigger one. You need the big one, right?
We're sending their.
For the minutes,
Okay.
not the small one.
oh, the minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's for the
no.
minutes.
Oh, you don't need that one.
Oh, no, I need these two signed.
Here, Lee.
Sorry, they're too small. I got it, I brought it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Do you want these?
Ron?
Did you sign them?
I'll try them. I don't want them, I don't need them.